So I'm Shah. I'm from India and I'm a coach in agriculture.
My name is Mavis. I'm from Ghana and I'm a coach from agriculture.
Hello everyone, myself Hrithik. I'm from India too, and I am also one of the coaches in agriculture. So today we have organized this webinar, and we will be talking about mainly three sections, starting with the market sections, under which we will include the points like what kind of information a student or a team should include in the market section, how they should present the information, and lastly, what is the importance of the different analysis tools like SWOT, Porters, Five Forces, Pistel, like those. So after the second section, we will be talking about the importance of referencing and citation, because people mainly do mistakes in referencing or citing their text, which is, according to us, is very important as it increases the credibility of the data. So let me just, before starting the session, let me just see if there is any questions from you guys or not. So if you feel to, if you have, you should feel free to ask any questions in between the webinar too. If you want to add any point or comment or anything, or if you want to ask or share with us any idea or topic that you have, you can freely do it. So let us just start the webinar right now. So first of all, I will talk about the market section of the report. So in event or competition like X Culture, where you are mainly required to, mainly required to give a potential market to the company or the client for their particular product or their services. So you should definitely include some of the information which is relevant to the company and also tells them a good knowledge about the market. So according to me, what you should include in the market section is, first of all, you should start by giving an industry description and outlook. So what you should do before directly pointing out anything is that you should create a base in the mind of the client so that they should understand exactly what are they targeting at and what is the potential market. Second, after telling them about the industry description, you should talk about the target markets, because it is not possible for every company to target all the population of a market. So there must be a specific target market for the company. What exactly is the demographic, demographic factors related to it, the geographic factors related to it, and that sort of things. After that, you should talk about the market test results. So what market test results mean is that a pilot study that you as a team should do on your own for the client to get a rough idea about what exactly would be the outcome and would be the result if the company launches their product in the market. So it is something not very often you see in the report. Teams generally do not prefer to do so, but what we suggest to you is to, if you want to improve your report, if you want to make your client feel much more confident about your information, you should do it. It will definitely increase the reliability of your data, and it will make the information look much more attractive to the reader. After talking about all these basic factors, you should talk about the test results you get out of it, the interpretation and the analysis of the information. So market analysis is something which is of your own. Like you will not get it from internet. You will not be able to get it from any secondary data. Market analysis is something which includes your own interpretation and analysis of the data that you have collected for the topic. So you can use various factors like Pastel, SWOT, Porter's Five Forces tools to interpret or analyze your data or to support the information that you are putting forward. So according to us, Pastel is one of the most important and effective factors that you should take into consideration, because what Pastel actually tells you or the client are the factors that will affect their business. Like let's take an example of a company. So a company is dealing in chemicals or pharma and they want to enter a new market. So what are the factors that they should look up to in before entering into a new market? So like for example, they should look up to political factors. They should also look up to legal factors, because then they will need a lot of licensing and need to follow a lot of regulations to produce such kind of chemicals in the market. They should also look at the environmental factors, because every country has carbon credits of their own. So the government has strict regulations regarding it. So a company should always and always follow those credits and those requirements. So after talking about the market analysis, at the end you should write your interpretation and analysis uh, of what you should suggest to the company and what you should think that company should follow before entering the market, and this is the plan should look like for the company. Let's us talk about the analysis tools that I just mentioned. So my friend Maeve will talk about the analysis tools and she will explain the importance and emphasis of it.
Okay, thank you very much, Hrithik. You've enlightened us a lot on the marketing analysis. To add up to what Hrithik has said, I want to talk about the market analysis tools, which include SWOT and Porter's 5 forces analysis. Under the SWOT, we realized that in most of the reports by the students only mentioned the SWOT analysis, but did not elaborate. They did not state the importance of the SWOT analysis to the clients, so that the clients will know that this is the relevance of the SWOT. And as I'm going into a new market, or as I am bringing a new product into the market, these are the consequences I'm going to face. The SWOT analysis is used to analyze the competitive position of a company. In every industry, companies, I have competitors. Therefore, when a company is entering into a new market, or when a company is starting its operations, the company must do SWOT analysis. The SWOT analysis is about the strength. The S represents the strength. The W represents the weaknesses. The T represents the threats, and then the the T represents the threats, and then the O represents the opportunities, and then the T represents the threats. Yes. Uh-huh. Looking at the SWOT, the strengths and weaknesses are internal factors. They are factors that are within the reach of the company, that a company can work on it to be able to build themselves up to touch competitors. The strengths are internal factors that they can build on, and the weaknesses are also internal factors that are lacking, that the company needs to improve upon to enable them also perform very well in competition. On the other hand, the opportunities and the threats are external. They are the factors that are imposed on the company by competition or by competitors. So the company has to look at those factors, and then they try to learn much about their competition, and then they can know the steps to take to enable them also to perform very well in competition. The opportunities, they can assess the opportunities and the threats by studying into the business or the operations of their competitors. Looking at the reports, we realized that most reports did not contain this analysis. They only state the SWOT, they don't give the relevance. So it doesn't really convince the clients. So I urge students to elaborate much on the SWOT analysis as I have done, so that they can convince the client companies that the suggestion that the students are giving is a laudable one that the company can use, and then their companies will perform very well. Also, looking at most of the reports, students, we realized that the students did not talk about the Porter's five forces theory.
Forces.
That is
Yes.
also another analytical tool that studies into the environment. It talks about the power of customers, the power of suppliers, the threats by new entrants, and then the competition itself in the market. When the reports are written in a brief manner, companies may not understand what those forces are. But when you cite instances with the forces. For instance, when you take new entrants, for instance, when you take the threats by new entrants, it will enable the existing company to know that since there is a new entrant, there is a tendency for the new entrant to reduce prices. Therefore, the existing company can work well and do so much well to also do production or provide service according to a higher quality in order to beat the new entrants. If these analyses are not made, companies will not know where they are being driven to. And when we take, for instance, a power of suppliers, suppliers talk about the raw materials are issued to companies for production. So if you see this, if you are able to assess the power by your supplier, knowing the quality of material suppliers provide to you, knowing the amount, the price, and the quantity of raw material suppliers can provide, that is where at which price. In a nutshell, we want students to do more research into the marketing analytical tools, and then do a lot of education to clients' companies so that they will know the relevance of these analytical tools. And then when they are taking a step to move international, or when they are taking a step to expand their territories, when their markets are saturated, they will know that there is so much competition in the outside world, and they will know how to put their operations, their human resources, and their production to be able to fit into competition and even do well. Yes. So this is what we want to talk to students about concerning their reports. We hope that next time they will do better when they are talking about the market analytical tools. That is very important because they simply enlighten the clients on how competition goes on, how they should enter competition, and how they are going to do well. Yes. So this is how we are presenting it to the students. If Hrithik has anything to add. Yes.
So adding to a point, I would like to say that what mistake generally teams do in the report is that they put a lot of theoretical paragraphs rather than using any images, charts, journal, newspaper articles, or any kind of tool to represent the information in a more better and effective way to the reader. Like for example, Maeve talked about the competition and the analysis related to it. So rather than putting the information in a theoretical manner, what teams can do is that they can prepare a matrix, a competitor matrix, in which they can include all the features and the offerings that the competitors offer to their clients, and how the and how the client is different from them. So it will somehow create a picture, a blueprint in the mind of the client, that these are our USPs, these are our main points that we can focus on and we can capture the market upon. So yes.
Yes.
Now, I would like to share a report of one of your teams to exactly demonstrate what Maeve talked about, the importance of analysis tools and how you should do it. So as you can see on your screens, that this is the report of one of the teams. And if you scroll down, then you can see that they have prepared a SWOT analysis in a very good and attractive manner. So they have created 4 boxes, which is a 4x4 matrix, obviously. It includes bullet points related to each of the factors of SWOT. And if we scroll down, then they have also specifically mentioned the client's SWOT analysis. So what it will offer to the client is that they can compare. They can compare their SWOT with the competitor's SWOT, and what are their weaknesses. Yes. So they can work upon the weaknesses and the opportunities. Yes.
Also with the threats, also they can work upon the threats. Also, what are the different kinds of threats that the client company is facing, and what are the threats that the competitors are facing. So that so they can work on the threats of the competitors and then capture the market. So this is also a good way to know where they are standing in the market.
Yes. And
yes. And to add up to what Pearl has said, looking at the threats of competitors and coming out with a strategy, the students can include in their report a specific strategy that the clients can use to perform very well in the market. I often talk about a blue ocean strategy that you look at the threats of your competitors and you design something out of the blue that will suit customers better than the products or the services being provided by the competitors. So the analytical tools are very much important. That is what enables the clients to develop a strategy that will enable the clients to do very well in competition. Yes.
So in the same report, we can also see the pestle analysis. Yes. So here's the pestle analysis done by this team. But what we feel is that they have already mentioned, they have just mentioned the bullet points in the pestle factors rather than explaining the impact of it on the client. So, like for example, they have mentioned a political factor, that is free trade agreements. So they have just put at the bullet points. They have not explained how the free trade agreement will be beneficial or will be not beneficial for the client. Yes. So it does not give a true image, a true idea to the client in this manner. You should should make some points and relevant.
So you should. So the students need to explain how the pestle factors are affecting the company and how it is affecting how it will change if something if one of the factor is changing.
Yes.
So,
like I gave example of that pharmaceutical or chemical company. So if the legal factors related to laws are there, then they should explain what exactly are the legal factors that are there, what is the tax policy, what are the regulations that the company should follow, and what are the regulations which will somehow affect the business of the client. Yes. After
that's very good.
This was overall view of a market section, that how it should look upon. We tried to take the main points into consideration so that the next time when a student or a team is making a report, they should consider these points into mind, which will create the market section in a more better and attractive way for the reader as well as for the maker. Yes. So now let us just talk about the citation.
So I'll be talking about the citation. So I have seen many reports that doesn't have a proper citation, or they doesn't provide any kind of links to the paper or the report that they are sending. So I just want to, and here also if we see in this report, so they have just copy paste the links. So this is not a proper way to write or give a citation. First of all, let me talk about why we need a citation. So first of all, we need a citation, of course, to avoid the plagiarism. Then to show the client that what the students have done for the research, and so by listing out the sources for the information that you used, and also by citing other people's words and ideas, indicates that you have conducted a thorough a research on the literature review of a particular topic. So if you are doing on a marketing, then you're providing you are citing too many sources which are relevant, of course. So the client company would know that okay, the students have done a proper or a thorough research on the marketing section. This is the way how you increase your credibility as an author of the work. So there are many tools. Manually also people do APA citation, but there are many tools also, like Zotero is there, Night Site is there, APA citation wizard is there, etc. But if we talk about myself, I personally use Zotero because it's very convenient, easy to use, and yes, user friendly, of course. And it keeps all the tracks of your research papers, your sources, and also, of course, inside citation also you can do. So let me just show you for a quick demo that how can we create a Zotero. So first of all, you need to install Zotero app. Then after installing Zotero app, you need to first open the app. Then you so for example, here I have just opened one link. This is a Google Scholar experiment, so whatever your paper is about, so you can open it, and here it comes the icon where it returns that it has written that save to Zotero. So just click on it, and this box will create.
The link will be saved.
Link will be saved to the My Gallery.
Yes.
So when you open it, so here is the 1 minute. Yeah, so this is the link that is that we just saved. So here is the creator, the person, the author who has written it, and the year in which it is published. So if you want to add if you want to see the dates or anything, so from here you can go and select date, and the date will be there. So 2000, it's not specifically, it's not given. So it's the 2014. The paper was published. So by just clicking on right click, here it is a create bibliography from the item. So when you open it, the box will get open, and just select the bibliography, save to RTS and APS 6th edition, because right now we all use the 6th edition of APA, and just say OK. So the link will be the dialog box will open. Just save it to desktop or something, and okay. Yes. So 1 minute. 1 minute. So here is the. So here is the whole APA style format that we use in the report or to cite.
Yes.
It's a proper citation that is done.
Yes.
Also from to do a very kind shortcut method, or I can say shortcut method. So when you 1 minute.
So there are two ways basically to do referencing from Zotero. One Paul just showed you, and the other one is that if you want to directly, rather than going with the whole process, if you want to directly cite and add bibliography in the Word report.
So there will be a Zotero tab in the Word. So just click on it, and if I want to, for example, I want to cite here. So I will click on add and edit citation. Okay. So here is the, and 1 minute. So you need to write the. So you need to write the name of the
link
or
name of the web page. You can write any keyword; it will automatically.
So here it. So I just wrote the Google. So here is the link that is open. So click it and then just enter it. So the whole you can do the in-text citation, and if you want to just click on the bibliography, the citation will be made in APA format.
The bibliography will be made in APA format.
Yeah, the bibliography will be made in APA.
So the initial two steps of opening Zotero and saving the link in Zotero is the same. After that, you can just directly open your
Word document.
Yes, Word document or report, whatever you want, in which you want to save or cite the text. And then first of all, you can cite the text after the paragraph of the document or the line. And then if you want to create a whole full reference of it, then you can just press enter and it will automatically create the reference.
So this is the way how the Zotero works. And also when you go to the app, your research is already saved.
Yes.
So it is easy to open the research and go through it. So whatever topic you are researching on, so it will be very easy for you to go back to the that site, that report, and then you read on it.
Like you can also see the whole abstract and whole information about the particular document is written here. So it creates ease for the reader to find out what exactly is the report talking about and what is the scenario and the overview of the report. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So yes. So we mainly chose these three topics because we feel we feel that if you particularly talk about X culture, then in X culture, our client mainly need a new market. So we mainly need to focus on the market section of the report. The market section of the
Yeah.
report should be rich with information, with relevant information, and with good sources. So we three decided to work on these two topics.
because there are many reports have these three mistakes,
Yes.
that they don't cite properly,
Yes.
or they don't do SWOT analysis or something, or like analytical tools. So what we need to tell you is that just whatever it is needed, you have to do it, because without that the client company would not know what you are talking about. Because if you write your analysis in paragraphs, the client company, they will get bored, and they won't, they will miss out the main information that you have done in your report, in your part. So it's better to do it and use the
Yes.
analytical tools.
Yes.
So it will be very better for the client company.
It basically increases it makes your report more structured and well organized. So it becomes good when you look at it, when you read at it, and when you interpret it. So this is the main
Yes.
idea behind taking
Yeah.
these 3 points. So
Yes.
Maeve, if you want to add.
Yes. Yes, I want to add to all that you are saying. In most of the reports, I realized that most reports come without executive summaries.
Yes.
We all know that executive summaries are so good, and the relevance is that it will firstly broaden the mind and then give the reader or the clients
Yes.
all the information that the student is trying to put across.
Exactly.
So when you give an executive, when you give a report without an executive summary, it is not so impressive. What we have to learn from today, what students have to learn from today, is to try to give an executive summary in a formal way, and then put all the ideas, all the suggestions you are trying to put across, all the strategies you want to suggest to the client. You try to put it in a summary for the client before you come down point by point to explain them to the client. I think it's very good, because when there is no executive summary, going through all that long report sometimes is very boring.
Yes.
But when the client sees the executive summary, sees what you are trying to put across, it will interest the client
Yes.
to read more. Yes,
Like
and so
by
that is it.
having an executive summary helps the client to know what is going on, and what are the important points that is needed by them. So it will be very easy for them to know. So it's better to write a executive summary and not to write it down. So if
As Pearl has said, executive summary is very, very much important, and I encourage and treat all students to have executive summaries before they come back. They come down to the point they are trying to write, and they should also have a conclusion. I realize most of the reports don't have conclusions. It is not a good report. Yeah, they should learn how to bring an executive summary and try to also include a beautiful conclusion, so that they win the interest of the clients. Yes. So as they are learning, S Culture is a training center. That is what I can say. Hrithik, just give me the platform to talk about S Culture later. I joined S Culture, that was 2014, and I always yearn to have the chance to join S Culture again, because when I joined S Culture, it gave me the chance to know how to do a lot of things. For instance, writing of reports, I learned a lot of things. So if students are today finding themselves in S Culture and they are doing things in a trivial way, they should learn how to correct themselves from now, so that in future they will have the benefits of joining S Culture. So writing an executive summary, writing your report, the body of your report, and giving a beautiful conclusion is very, very important, and they should work at it. Yes. So we can talk about S Culture and the benefits that we've gained. Yeah.
Moreover, adding to our point, working in X Culture, like I joined X Culture in 2016. I was as a student, and now I am a coach. So working in X culture helps you learn a lot of things, and it also helps you make contacts uh, all around the world. So you get to know a lot about different cultures, different environment, different surroundings, different factors that are prevailing all over the world, and you can just get a good insight of what's happening in the world by interacting with your teammates, by getting to know about their markets, their cultures, and as well as talking to them about your culture and your country. So it is a very good platform where people from all over the world, irrespective of their age. So one of the main advantages of X culture is the age of the teammates is not a barrier. You will also find a person of 18 as well as of 60 in the same team. So it helps you a lot in learning as well as
you gain from you gain knowledge from every age
group. Yes.
Age group. So it's kind of a learning platform where people learn. Obviously, people learn about the markets, the how to give a overview of what is going on for a particular company or etc. But also to connect with others, because being a student or working in some companies sometimes doesn't help to connect with others around the world. So I guess X culture is a kind of, I'm glad to be a part of X culture, because it gives a platform to connect so many people around the world.
Yes.
So like I met Maeve, she's from Ghana, so we had a kind of a connection with each other.
Yes.
And one very good thing I can say X culture can do and will do for us is, connecting with people all over the world. We may not know its benefits so much today, but in future, as we are learning about international trade, as we are learning about cultures, we don't know how X culture will one day get me in India, and Pearl and Hrithik can assist me, concerning my job or my business. And we don't know how it will also happen, and then Hrithik or Pearl, any Indian will find themselves in Ghana. So I will encourage students to take X culture more serious. X culture is the first platform that gave me the chance to interact with foreigners. I would say Indians, Americans, and I would say they are everybody. Since I entered this culture, almost all my teammates, I can say they are very nice people. Almost all, about 90% of them, they are nice, by their culture. They are nice by the way they communicate. They are nice by, the way they I would say by just, they are just nice. And they are intelligent as well. I've learned how to share ideas. I've learned how to also take ideas from people. So students should take X culture more seriously. And when there are business opportunities as we are aging, and Hrithik said something that you gain ideas from people of different ages. Yes, people may own companies that they may even need a foreign, a foreign outlet. And for instance, if Hrithik has a company in India and may need an outlet in Ghana, as I live in Ghana, he can follow me. So it's good that we form this network. So nobody should leave X culture. We should persistently be with X culture. And I hope that in future, X culture is going to be great, and each and every member of X culture is also going to be great. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if at the end we just want to say to you all that if you feel any kind of problem or any kind of suggestion, or do you want to make any kind of comment or ask anything about any topic, you can just email to us or to X Culture platform. We would be really
happy to assist you.
Yes, happy to assist you in any kind of problem you face. So yes,
Yeah.
that would be all from. You want to add something?
No.
Maybe you want to add something?
I'm done.
No, I don't have anything to say again.
So let's just call it a session then.
Okay.
So
thank you guys. I'm going to stop your recording now, okay?
Okay.
Okay, yes. We will continue.